Let me blur that background there. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing?
What's cracking, y'all?
I tell you, maybe the light is good enough here that I won't keep going blurry when I go in and out.
Yeah, it's nice.
We are counting on a natural light to make things work for us here today. Oh, there it is.
Let me embarrass you by saying what's cracking.
I don't know. Where would that embarrass me?
I don't know. You just have that look on your face. You're like, oh,
no, I don't.
There's Nicole.
No, it was more that the background was showing and I hadn't cleaned up the counter before it. That was what it was. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, you never know what may come out of my mouth at some point in time,
Mine too, right? Random English things that I say.
Never can tell, never can tell. So it's not Friday, it's Thursday today, yeah?
It is. Thursday's the new Friday. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure that these Zooms go out and that the people have opportunity to hop on live with us if they would like to. So
let me introduce us. I am Nicole Andrews. This is my husband, Steve Andrews. We are the co-founders of She Reigns Creative and Rule Your Business. We also own a local ballet studio as well. So we have together, along with an amazing team and another business partner, built 2 7-figure businesses. And we love to get on to do these hot seats with people who are also in business because the both of us have a unique perspective. We have a lot of experience in really crappy business things. And some really
no, we've made no mistakes. We've not hired the wrong people. We've not taken on the wrong customers. We've had an absolutely flawless journey. As you can tell by my face, I'm 21 years old and look like I'm 60 from the last 7 years of business.
Gosh, that's no good.
I used to have a full head of hair.
But we have a lot of experience in this. And, between Steve's natural business savvy and my intuitive abilities, we both have the ability to help you in your business. If you have areas that you are struggling in, maybe you feel stuck in your business, maybe you feel stagnant in your business, maybe you're ready to take things to the next level and you don't know what you should even begin to do that. That's why we're here. So yeah. These are the things. And it's really funny. We're finding ourselves doing things in our business that we didn't enjoy as much. And this is something that we really enjoy. We used to do what was called a social media hot seat. So we would take someone and do sort of a social media audit. I used to actually work one-on-one with people and give them a social media audit and a social media plan and help them with their messaging, and I really enjoyed that. And it's really funny because these sessions can be triggering. You might have some stuff come up that you're not ready to hear. So hopefully that doesn't deter you from listening or watching. But then also what I love about these sessions is when someone has their aha moment. And I almost feel like the aha moment is kind of cliche these days, but there is literally this moment when I will watch someone's face just kind of go, oh, that's the thing I was thinking about, or that's what's been right on the edge that I've been trying to get over. You know what I mean? So it's really nice when someone gets a little bit vulnerable. And I know that's hard in this day and age, getting vulnerable. But it's also a superpower. If you have the ability to get vulnerable, you also then open up the ability to learn something about yourself and someone else and about so many different things. So
yeah, we do these sessions for free. This is us, part of our service to our community of people. we love to put this out there for them, but we do have the opportunity for you to do them in private with us as well. That's a paid service at that point, but sometimes deep can be really powerful on these things. So and it can unlock where you are in your business, and I think that's a key thing. I had a session with someone the other day, and we dug really deep, and there were lots of tears, and that's okay. Everyone's story is unique. Everyone has something to offer, and sometimes getting deep and understanding the power in your, trying to think of something that is P, but the power in your story, the secret stuff in your story is really powerful. And so I think these are really valuable, and it's a great opportunity. And we are still happy to do a social media hot seat. If you want us to take a look at your social media, come on in, drop it in, tell us about your avatar, and we will absolutely help you figure out how to sell whatever you're selling, whether it be coaching, whether it be perfume, whether it be t-shirts, whether it be mugs, whether it be pharmaceutical services. That sounds really bad, right? Oh my goodness. But we'll help you connect with your audience, because that's what we do. I think one of the things that I want to talk about today, just feels close to my heart, is that the economy is tough right now, right? And it's easy to get caught in that consciousness of the economy being bad, right? Interest rates are up another chunk, and supposedly they're not going to go up again, but they've gone up 7 times here in the United States in the last 12 months, or something to that effect. And so, people are not spending as much. That's what people would say anyway, right? And I want to talk about, the ability to buck that trend, right?
Buck that trend.
Do you guys not say that one? Is that an English one? But that sounds American. Buck, right? You have a bucking bronco.
Yeah, maybe it's just not a me thing. I don't know. It's possible it's just not a me thing. I don't know everything.
Let us know in the chat if you know what buck that trend means.
White American sayings.
But let us know. Stephanie says she's heard it, but not sure if she heard it stateside. But we say buck that trend in England, and ultimately recession comes down to, you could talk about what everyone else is doing, but it doesn't matter about what everyone else is doing. It only matters what you're doing. You could say, oh, unemployment rate is 5%. Well, you can't be 5% unemployed. You're either 0% unemployed, you've got a job, or you're 100% unemployed, you've got a job. You literally are your own situation. And so while everyone else might be struggling and buying into that collective consciousness, you don't have to do that. You can be wherever you want with this, and you can have the energy that you want. I took a look at our figures for the last 30 days, and we have been in this high vibrational state and attracting great customers and doing things. And we're like our second best month ever in running this business in a time when the economy is bad. And it just shows that it doesn't matter what's going on in the economy. What matters what's going on with you, and what's going on in your business, and what's going on here. It's hard to do that when I'm looking at the camera and not looking at you. I'm like going to poke you in the ear in a minute. Right?
Temple, so
there we go.
Good.
It's divinely guided. I'm not going to try again. But I think it's something that people are thinking about right now. But if you have questions around that, if you have questions on how to build your business, whatever business that be, we know that over the years we've worked with a lot of people in health coaching, but those people have been moved on to other businesses as well, and we love to help you with these sorts of things. We love to answer those sorts of quick things. So if anyone's here live, they have a question, they want to jump on the Zoom here, you can. I believe I've dropped the link everywhere, but if you can't find the link, if you go to She Reigns Creatives page, you will see us right on that there with a link to join this call. So
I know, is there anybody who likes to be on camera? I'm really curious. I don't mind being on camera. Of course we all have days where we're like, no, that's not happening today. But Like, who has done the work to be good with and okay with getting out there?
Right.
Putting yourself out there is not easy. I think about this so frequently because we live in this world today where everything revolves around, if it wasn't posted on social, it didn't happen. But that's so not the truth, because hopefully we have these lives outside of social media, right? Like, your life is happening outside of social media. Just because nobody sees it doesn't mean it's not happening, doesn't mean it's not amazing, doesn't mean it's not wonderful and you're successful in all of the things, right? And the second layer to that, and I'm speaking specifically in business, if you don't put yourself, your products, whatever they may be, typically it's something that you've created, right? And maybe if you're in network marketing or something, that's really when you have to kind of dig into yourself and put yourself out there. That takes a lot of bravery. It really does. Or if you have, I think about artists. I have been connecting with artists lately, and I'm like, I have art that I would love to share, but it takes bravery because you put so much time and effort, you put your heart and soul into that. Singers, actors, to put yourself out there, because it is inevitable that you will get rejection. Like, no matter what you're putting out there, you are going to, at some point, get rejected. You are going to be put down. Somebody's not going to like it. Somebody's not going to like you, right? That you are going to experience that. Like, there is suffering when it comes to being able to put yourself, your product, your creations out there. Stephanie, what did you say? Oh, people don't much either. Has anyone else felt like social media is dead and just a form of advertising? Yeah. It's not social media anymore. This topic is a loaded topic. I feel this way too. I think that, my lens, I wonder when someone is making a connection with me, if there's some sort of motive behind it. It's not just to know me. It's, I feel like I've been fortunate, and that has been debunked in the last, few weeks or so. I don't know. It's been this evolution of the more vulnerable and real I have become. I am connecting with people who have told me, sent me direct messages that said, thank you so much for talking about what you talk about, because it's real. It's what people are really struggling with. And it's not sugar-coated and fake, So I felt really, I have at times felt really discouraged and disillusioned, because you can get in that mode of thinking about how many views am I getting? How many likes am I getting? Because you're in kind of like that business mindset. Like, you think to yourself, if nobody's seeing this, how on earth am I supposed to be successful? And then second layer to that, and maybe this is even the first layer, like, nobody cares. You feel like nobody cares. If nobody likes it, or nobody sees it, or it doesn't go viral, nobody cares, right? That's just not true. Right. We have to forget that. Of course, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say it's kind of hard, because essentially what is happening is social media is becoming broadcast media to a certain extent. Because we don't, no one likes the latest episode of whatever, they're not, you can't like it on the TV. Obviously they can tell by viewer numbers who's seeing things, but it becomes a one-way thing that you just have to trust that you're putting the content out there that's right for your audience. And if you don't, they're going to change channel.
Right. It's very much like that.
Because you'll see it that people will be, you know, I saw a post the other day and it was just like, it might have been a reel and it was just like, hey, I know you watch my reels, you know, give me a thumbs up would be great, or something to that effect, or give me some love, give me a heart, you know, give me something. And there's a lot of people who watch things who don't react to things. And you're not going to change that sentiment of things, but if you're putting the right things out there, you're going to connect with the right people. And that's the important thing for us.
Yeah, you know, I think taking it from that point of view is really, really, really important, because as superficial and as fake as it can seem sometimes, it can be a very powerful thing. Back when I was doing more social media trainings, and you know, I think one of the number one things that people have an issue with is that getting vulnerable piece, you know, and really putting themselves out there. And it's when you begin to do that that you start to see more attraction, because the more authentic you are, the more you're going to attract people who are really there, who want to be there because of you, you know. But gosh, I just totally lost my train of thought on that. I was going somewhere because
I think vulnerability can be hard because, well, it's vulnerable for one, but everyone puts out these lives like they're living the perfect Instagram life. And I know that many people are rejecting that concept now.
I know what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Imagine if whatever you decide to post that day saves someone's life. Like, the minute you decide to share something that you have struggled with or been through and overcome, and maybe you're even going through it right now. Like, I think I know a lot of trainings that I've done myself said, don't share the struggles until you're through it, because then you can share what you did to get through it and, you know, get over it or whatever. But I've also seen it work where people share when they're in the shit. They share when they're in the shit, and it helps people not feel alone. What if there are people alone, like literally alone out there, and your post where you got vulnerable and maybe you did share what you do in these situations, or maybe it was something that happened to you when you were a kid. It helps people not feel alone. It's like this giant mirror and reflection thing for people to use. And it's that opportunity, it's an opportunity for healing, because if you are in the process of healing, then other people know that they can also begin to be in the process of healing. And that's what I'm all about. So,
you know, I always say this, and I almost feel like it's becoming trite, but the best thing in the world about social media is you can always find someone who's thinking about things the same way as you, but feeling the same way as you too. You know, you don't have to be alone. I had a conversation with a cancer survivor yesterday, and you know, if you've been through cancer, and I've had both my parents have gone through cancer and are both in remission, well clear of it at this point. You know what it feels like to have an invader in your body, right? Like, you can't trust your own body. Essentially, it's something that is words that are often used by people in that space. And to find someone else who has that same feeling as you, because your family don't know that, they don't understand the struggle that comes with that, they don't understand those pieces. And so social media gives you that opportunity to make that sort of a connection so someone can understand. And if you are just that superficial person who's just posting the surface level stuff, you're missing out on the opportunity to truly connect with people. You know, we work with somebody who has a huge audience on social media, and she can put lots of different posts out there, but the ones that always resonate are the ones where she talks about nearly getting divorced, because people understand that. They understand that marriage can be difficult. And so having those pieces out there make her relatable. Whereas, you know, perfect body, perfect eating, these sorts of things, you know, nice car, nice house, they're hard to resonate with. We can resonate with people's struggle.
It's not the truth. I know this firsthand. And I'm not talking about myself. I just know that there are lots of people who put on a facade, and that's all it is,
Yeah.
my friends. It's a facade.
It
It's
is.
very interesting. It's people's inability to share their vulnerabilities.
Mhm.
That's all it is. And it is hard,
Mhm.
me, my unempathetic piece just kicked in there a little bit. And then I have a huge empathetic piece to myself that I get it. Like, it's hard to share your imperfections, But I've said it since the beginning of my time in being in this kind of business. What I observe is that the minute you truly get into that vulnerability space, that's when, and let's just look at it surface level, that's when your social media blows up, because you're going to attract your people.
Yeah.
Your people need your help. How else are you supposed to find your people if all you do is share the highlight reel?
It's funny, again, we worked with a lot of Beachbody coaches, and I saw people leave Beachbody. They were genuinely gutted to be leaving Beachbody. It was a big part of who they were. It was a big part of identity, but didn't work for them. And their videos on why I left Beachbody absolutely blew up their businesses, because they connected with the people who were in the same position. They were like, I've been trying with Beachbody and I love it and I don't want to leave it, but it's not working for me, and so I'm going to leave. And so you get those people who are just like, that's me. That's me. And look how great you're doing with this new business. Okay, I'm going to go work with this new business. It almost becomes, unfortunately, it then almost gets monetized, and it's like, hey, go make a crying video about you leaving Beachbody and you're going to be successful. But I know that people who've been involved with that business have left and gone on to be very successful with other businesses. And even some of the most successful, you can probably hear our dog snoring in the background. It's not Nicole. She's not snoring here.
I don't snore.
Me neither.
I used to, I guess, when I drank, but
I don't snore. So be vulnerable, and that's how you're going to connect with people. I really truly believe that. A couple of people here I see here watching. I see Angela. Angela Mack is watching. Good to see you, Angela. If you have any questions, you're always free to come on and jump and talk to the team here. I saw Catherine, our good friend from agency. It's a print marketing company for and social media company for salons. Catherine lives up in Minnesota, right? And she said it was great to see us and she'd be back, but she has to hop off, so she's probably off to a sales call, because Catherine is amazing. Her son Rune does something called Rune's Savory Cones, which just sounds amazing to me. So he makes like waffle cones out of like garlic and onion and all of these, savory flavors, and then fills them with like meat.
Wait, with meat.
It's funny because I was with Catherine down in Las Vegas at a show, and we were talking about it, and I was like, remember the scene from Something About Mary, and that he's talking about meat on a stick, and he's like, what you don't see very often, meat in a cone. I'd like to see more meat in a cone. And I'm like, it's meat in a cone. I can get a chicken curry in a cone. I just love the idea. I can't wait to go up to Minnesota at some point, enjoy the beautiful wildlife up there. Hopefully not when it's like -40 up there, and get one of Rune's savory cones. I'm excited about that.
We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, exciting things. A couple of things that we've got going on over here. We have the ballet studio, and we have put it out into the ether that we want to expand the ballet studio and have an extra space. So we are in talks right now to acquire a second space for the ballet studio, and it has like 10 offices as well. And now you guys may or may not know this, but our team's 100% remote. We have people in Washington and in Ohio and in Minnesota and in New Jersey. And one of our team right now is working from Germany. And where else do we have people? Everywhere, it feels like. But we are working on having this expanded space for the ballet studio, and then putting together a podcast studio that people can come and record a podcast, a video studio so someone can come and record a course or record a video, so that they can have a good place to be. And how I see it is, hey, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to record my course. I'm going to record all of the social media videos I need to promote it. I'm going to record some reels for that. I'm going to record some ads for that. And I'm going to get it all done in a great space, be able to leave, come back. And then, if you want to come back in 3 months' time and just hang out with the Andrewses again, you can do that. We've got some great places to take to eat and things like that. But we will have that space. And if this location doesn't work out, I know it's going to happen again. We are really helping a lot of course creators right now. And it's a really exciting space to be. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but the course industry is set to grow to multiple billions over the next couple of years. So why doesn't everyone make a course? What holds people back from making a course?
They think they're not good enough. They don't think they have something to offer.
What do you say to those people?
I say they're wrong. I really do. It's a choice. I've said this a lot of times too. And it's so simple, but so complicated all at the same time, because it kind of goes back to that conditioning that we always talk about. We are conditioned to stay safe. When we're born, we don't know anything about that. We are kind of at factory settings, and the factory settings are wonderful because we don't have any of the voices that were given to us as, we were children. Society is set up to keep you safe. You are supposed to go to school, go to college, get a job, make sure you're saving up for retirement, and get a house, all of those like really safe things. And then you retire, maybe you travel some, maybe, I don't know about this day and age, and then you die, right? And you're just supposed to stay all snuggly and safe and everything. And that's really all of the messages that you get, like starting when you go to kindergarten and maybe even preschool. The conditioning is so strong. Okay. Of course, you have factors involved that, maybe you're neurodivergent, and it's very apparent to you that you're not going to fit into this normal society that wants you to be somewhere at a specific time, wants you to sit down for 2 hours for a meeting, sit down at a computer. But the conditioning is tough. And I saw this graphic the other day that it really punched me in the gut. So don't we spend, and didn't you hear when you were a little person, don't be afraid to go for your dreams. Dream big, little one, dream big.
Yeah, have you ever said to a kid, I want to be I want to be president? Do you say, you're never going to become president?
Maybe some miserable person would, but we're always telling little people to dream big and go for what they want, go for their dreams. But then we get to a certain age, and what happens? People begin to tell you, oh, that's not possible. You should just stay at that job.
The crab effect, right?
The crab effect. Right. People tell you, oh, that's not realistic. You'll never be a famous singer, or you'll never be a good actor, or, like, isn't that a little bit risky if you tell somebody that you're starting a business? Oh my gosh, you're putting your investment, your retirement investment into your business. Are you serious? Like, everybody's afraid because it's not comfortable. It's outside of the norm. It's outside of the comfort zone, right? And then, of course, if you're dealing with your self-esteem just in general, you have natural self-doubt, and it's all related. It's all related, right? You say to yourself, who am I? Who am I to create a course that somebody's going to pay for. My knowledge isn't good enough, you know? And all of these things, they're all absolute bullshit, because, you know, comparing yourself to, like, I'm going to remove all of the stuff. You literally could get in front of a camera, have your normal clothes on, whatever. You don't have to be bright, flashy, fancy, shiny, sparkly. You don't have to put on a show. Your knowledge alone, if you know how to teach someone how to do something, you can create a course and sell it. It's a choice. You decide to step into this role of someone who creates a course. And what happens is you're going to have, you know, the minute you begin to try to step into it, all the thoughts come in, and they're just not thoughts, but they're not true. They're not real. All of that, they're just thoughts. They are not based in reality. And reality is what you choose to do. That's the reality. And this, like I said, it's so simple, but so complicated all at the same time, because we're human and we are complicated. That's how we roll. But I promise you, if you stop thinking so much and just start doing, because what you're thinking about mostly is what other people think of you, right? So what if I fail and everybody laughs? What if I fail and so that told me I was going to fail then is right? So are you going to die? Are you going to die if you fail? No. You're going to learn from that experience, and you have the ability to pick yourself back up and try again.
You only fail if you quit, right?
You only fail if you didn't try. If you don't even try because you're so afraid of what other people think, just that it's such a disservice to yourself and to the world. And it truly is just a choice. Stop thinking and start doing. Like Nike said, just do it.
Right. So true. So
And
true.
Stop focusing on the destination and focus on enjoying every piece of this process, right? If you're truly passionate about teaching something, you'll enjoy teaching it. Whatever you're going to decide to create a course on, it should be easy for you. You should be already answering people's questions on how to do it.
And you probably do. You probably teach people and don't get paid for it.
Right.
And you probably have such a great skill set that a lot of people would pay good money for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a conversation yesterday, someone who's working on strategy with us, one of the top artists in video game development in the world, top 5 companies in the world. And he wasn't particularly egotistical. He, you know, I think he said his LinkedIn had him down as kite surfer instructing level 2. And he's like, I don't get any of these headhunter calls. And everyone's like, well, look at your LinkedIn. It says kite surfer level 2. And he's like, I feel so pompous putting my title there because it's something like principal senior technical artist or something like that. It's a real, but the fact is, he's absolutely freaking amazing at what he does. And people would pay good money to watch him do what he does.
Yeah.
And
you gotta own that shit.
You know,
that's you.
I know there's someone out there who makes the best cakes, who probably could teach people how to make better cakes. And maybe you have secrets, you know, like you go and everyone like loves your cake and you're just like, I know I make amazing cakes, and you something you're really proud of. And it's a skill that's transferable to someone else. Maybe you use a little white vinegar in something, or maybe you have a secret for creaming your eggs and butter in a different way. And the fact is, even if you're teaching something that's been taught 1,000 times before, you're teaching it your way, and you're going to connect with the people that you connect with.
Go ahead.
I think Annie has the sneezes, but you're going to connect with the people that you connect with. Just a shout out, I saw Carl was on here. Carl was a Beachbody coach. Good to see you, Carl. Hope your business is going well in other ways.
I like the way you say Carl.
Well, he's English, so.
Oh, so he says it just.
Carl.
Carl. Carl.
You want to hear something funny? So when she says Carl, it makes me think of Yes Man with Jim Carrey. If you've not seen that movie, you should go and watch that movie. Read the book by Danny Wallace, great artist. And he talks about saying yes for a year. And he actually did this as an experiment. Like, sign up.
Thinking, just
say yes. Just say yes. Great movie, really great adaptation. Love Zooey Deschanel in that movie as well. How's I go with that? Carl. So one of the characters in it is called Carl. But moving from that, we went out on a date last night, and it was probably the first date in like 3 years that wasn't business related. Usually it's like, oh, we're going to go to a networking event, or we're going to go to an education event.
That's funny.
It's terrible. I'm laughing because it's a horrible thing. You know, we have COVID and our kids melted down because we left that for the night. But we went out last night, and I took Nicole up for a surprise. We went to an escape room. We did not escape. We would still be locked in there, I believe. I'm trying to figure our way out. But right afterwards, Nicole, one of her favorite movies is Along Comes Polly. I'm not sure it's one of her favorite movies, but she owned multiple. Along Came Polly.
And yes, it is one of my favorites.
We used to have multiple DVDs of it. You know, Nicole would go to get DVDs, and she'd come back and it'd be like, oh, we've got another copy of 50 First Dates and another copy of Along Came Polly.
It's my ADD.
I really love this movie that much that I need to have 2 versions of it. But one of the funny things in that scene is they go to but I believe is an Ethiopian food. So they're eating with their hands, and they're eating things. So we went for Ethiopian food last night. Never had Ethiopian food before. So we kind of went and did that last night, which was fun and was good to raise our vibrations, take us out of the energy of sitting about work, which we do quite frequently. We talk about raising people's vibrations and those side of things. So we do those sorts of things quite a bit. So we did that, and it was fun because I knew that by going and doing the Ethiopian food, it would remind Nicole of one of her favorite movies. How am I going to do that for 50 First Dates?
Okay, Stephanie, glad you're back.
We'll go on go and pick a pineapple or something.
I was gonna say, you got to take me to Hawaii for 50 First Dates.
Or go and see a sea lion. Is that a sea lion or a walrus?
A walrus.
A walrus.
I love that movie too. That's such a good movie.
Take you out for pancakes.
Yeah, at the Hukilau Cafe. We saw the Hukilau Cafe.
We did see that Hukilau Cafe?
Yes. Isn't it a great movie, Stephanie? When I was younger, like in my 20s, and when I was a single mom and alone, kind of like movies kept me company, you know, and for you too, right? When you were in school, you said that you used to watch things on repeat a lot, and they would keep you company. And, you know, still to this day, if I'm struggling or something, I will put a familiar movie on, and it's really, really comforting for me. And 50 First Dates was one of those, because it's such a beautiful love story, you know, like how freaking, it is really romantic that he plays a movie for her every freaking morning so that she remembers her life and is willing to do that for the rest of their lives. Like, beautiful movie.
Yeah, and it's funny because that was one of your favorite movies. When I was in France, I was there as a student. I didn't have a lot of money. Really was poor out there. Poor is probably the wrong word for it, but you know, I was living in France, and I lived with a family, and I would spend a lot of time in my room on my own. And I had a laptop with a DVD player in it. So there used to be a market in the middle of Toulouse, and I would go and buy DVDs, and I would have those. And I probably had 5 DVDs that I rotated. And one of them was Traffic, which is a cool movie.
It's a really good movie.
Love that movie. One of them was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I think. I remember, funny thing, if you've seen Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Kevin Costner, Sherwood Castle, the city of Nottingham, is actually filmed in the south of France. So I was able to go and see the place. It's a city called Carcassonne in the south of France. But one of my other movies was The Wedding Singer. So that is Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler too.
Yeah.
And absolutely one of my favorite movies. I love the when he writes the song for her, you know. I'll wash the dishes in your kitchen sink, put you to bed when you've had too much to drink, you know.
And
It's
that's
such
51st dates, isn't it?
no.
There's
Oh, really?
yeah.
Where?
When they're sitting there at night after they've made love for the first time.
That song comes
I
on
believe
again?
it's the same song.
All right, we're gonna have
I
to
know
watch 51st Dates this afternoon, but
we're gonna have to catch you up on that if it's the same song.
and the Billy Idol cameo in that movie as well. How do I miss that? We've watched that movie a million times.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't hear it in the background, but that's super cool. That's super cool. Bill's here. Say hi, Grandpa.
Hey, Grandpa.
There you go, Bill. First attempt in learning. It's so true. It's so true. So but yeah, movies can be at that. And here we are. We're sharing some of our vulnerabilities. I remember what it was like in France. And you know, I think I dropped my phone over there as well. So I had a broken phone as well. It was a lot.
Yeah, humans are we're so multifaceted. And I think when we own that there are pieces of us that, you know, there are broken pieces of us, there are pieces that we picked back up and glued back together. You know, there are dark places we've been, there are dark pieces of us, but then there are also really beautiful pieces of us. And the minute we are brave enough, and I'm not calling anyone not brave if you haven't done it yet, you may find it might be your path to do so, but it's really a brave and noble thing to put yourself out there, because it's what we're here for. It is crazy because you add the layer of, you know, how do we differentiate the difference between reality and social media? I feel like social media is part of our reality. And what is important is to know what's real and what's not. And it's really cool if you can be super real on social media, you know? That's another loaded topic. But if you are one of the ones who's out there and being real, keeping it authentic, you know, not, of course we have things that we're not ready to share yet, and that's totally cool. But if you can put an unfiltered photo out there, or share one of your shitty, embarrassing moments where you totally screwed up, to show other people that you can screw up, you can survive it, and it's okay. It's a part of this process. It's a part of this journey, you know. Gosh, it really gets my wheels turning, because I know a lot of people that I know about their screw ups. They haven't shared them, but if they did, it would probably catapult them into somewhere different, because then people would realize, oh, that person's status is attainable for me. That is attainable for me, because I made that mistake too. But because they don't believe anyone else has made that mistake, because you didn't share that, and I'm not putting it on one person, but the more real we share about ourselves, you know, the more people can understand that great things are possible for everyone. You know, my dad, who might be watching right now still, I don't know if you're still on, but I spoke to him on FaceTime like a few days ago now, and he says, so I decided that I should be an entrepreneur. And I was like, cool, you know. And what did he say to me? He said, but I have a lot of problems or something, like, you know, like maybe he said,
join the club.
I know. Well, he said, like, I have a lot of, did he say mental problems specifically or something like that? And I said to him, Dad, you know, so do I, and I'm an entrepreneur. This is the thing. These are the stories that we tell ourselves. Like, I can't do this because XYZ. I can't do this because I struggle with anxiety. I can't do this because I struggle with depression. But guess what? You're coming from a place of, and I think this is where my dad was coming from, that he had to do it all on his own. No, that's not how this works. You don't. Maybe in the very beginning, to get the wheels going, you might start to do something on your own and trying to figure it out. But guess what? People don't do this by themselves. Anybody telling you differently is a lie. They a lie. I tell you right now, they are lying to you. Yes, get out of your own way. The stories that we tell ourselves about what's possible for our reality, that's what I'm talking about. They're just the thoughts that come in, and the thoughts are not real. Stop thinking so much and just do. What do you want? What do you believe in? What are you passionate about?
There's people who are more successful than you who have got the same issues that you have.
And more,
even if we look at the most successful people in the world, they definitely have some mental issues that.
And it's not just mental,
right?
It's like, there are so many things that can hold us back. But the minute you have an idea and you begin to think about it more, maybe you write it down. I would highly suggest you do this if you haven't done it yet. Write it down. Start to talk to somebody about it. The minute you start to do this and you have this little seed of excitement and belief in something, the universe is listening and it's already starting to line things up in your favor. The people, the things, you just have to be open and ready to accept and believe it. That is the bananas part about it. You didn't come up with this idea for nothing. That seed did not begin to germinate for no reason. And that is what so many people, they disregard it because they don't believe it's possible for them. I love that last comment, Stephanie. We are all a little crazy, disturbed, and weird. Amen, sister. Amen. Yes, Heather. So I don't know. I feel like we're kind of all over the place, but to kind of recap what we're saying, we were talking about course creators and people who, don't believe that they can become a course creator, right? You're getting in your own way. Get out of your own way.
Right.
And I've had people tell me that, and I take this as an absolute compliment. I got kind of like it's not a nickname, but reputation for cartoon birds braiding my hair. I am a delusional optimist. You will, maybe it's me being on the spectrum, but I have this childlike delusional belief that you are fucking amazing. I believe that, thank you, Heather. I believe that you are, because I can see it. I don't know, again, I'm not trying to make myself different or special or anything, but what I see in those people out there, what I see in you out there, I wish you could see what I saw. I really do. I wish you could see what I saw, what I see. And the minute you get rid of those ridiculous thoughts that you have going on and you just start to watch how, I think visually a lot. And what I imagine is, imagine beautiful lily pads on a pond. And they're all there, right? But they're just not unlocked and ready for you yet. But each step that you take on each of those lily pads, they light up.
Is this a video game?
It very well could be. They light up, and that one enables you to then take the next step and the next step. And they just keep lighting up as you go. And you're opening up this beautiful world for yourself to places that you never believed were available to you, but they're there. They are absolutely there.
And, as much as it goes for a course creator, it goes for any entrepreneur.
Yeah.
When, I'm not sure how much you guys know of our story, but
Sorry.
it's okay. So I'm not sure how much you guys know about our story, how we started, but essentially we'd been married a couple of years. We were going through green card paperwork, which I needed to stay here and to do something outside of our regular business, and literally had started in the background building a business. And the second we got the green card, that was it. The next day I handed my notice in. Now, we didn't have the money in savings that we should have had. Everyone said you should have 3 months salary before you start a business. And we'd already cashed out our retirement to get us through through Nicole and watching Charlotte from home. So we had no safety net when we do it. We don't think about it in this way. We didn't, it wasn't on our minds at that point. We were just like, we're going to start a business and we're going to be successful. We didn't even think about not having a safety net at that point. And not saying that that's for everyone, but if you do that, then it's sink or swim. You have to go out there and you have to make it happen. And if you're in that position, it's the catalyst for greatness. And you just have to know that you do have the ability, you do have something to offer someone. And when you're in your zone of genius and you're operating in your zone of genius, you're going to find those conversations you have with people and you're going to watch their eyes light up, whether it's talking about baking, being a blacksmith, talking about marketing, talking about business. You will see people open like the lily pads as you help them, as you make better sourdough, as you help them get the beautiful feet that you need on macarons, as you help them pass their nurse practitioner board exams, as you help them make better movies, take better pictures, build a home garden, build a full-on homestead, raise sheep, become a good butcher.
Right. What do you have to teach people?
Right.
That's really,
And remember, it doesn't matter who's out there already teaching it, because you're going to teach it in your way.
Right.
We are nothing like a Grant Cardone or Russell Brunson. You're never going to hear us, like, that's not the way we do business. If you want to work that way, go see Russell Brunson, go see Grant Cardone. We have a different approach to entrepreneurship. And if you're looking for that kind of approach for entrepreneurship, where you're co-creating with the universe, spirit, God, Allah, Buddha, all of the above, that's how we do things. And from the vulnerability space, I definitely think that I've kind of kept that piece back and almost not used it effectively. I keep saying, we built multiple 7-figure businesses on this earth. We're going to build 8-figure businesses, co-creating with the universe and doing freaking amazing things.
Nice.
I know, right? Those glasses are looking amazing, and they go beautifully with that dress today.
Thank you. I know you guys, this angle doesn't do this dress justice. It's a lot of fun. I might go frolicking in the woods and take some pictures in it.
Ooh, frolicking. Anyway, we have enjoyed having you here. I saw Angela said she was at work, so she was watching from work, and she was there. And then Gina said, hi, Gina, we miss you. Gina's out there having fun on the East Coast right now. But she's a friend of ours, a very good friend of ours. So we miss you, Gina.
Music, paramedicine, EMS, positivity, mycology, organic gardening, soil restoration, tons of other things.
Yeah, I would buy the mycology course for sure. You know what mycology is?
No, I don't.
I think it's mushroom growing, right? Am I right, Stephanie?
You're interested in growing mushrooms?
I saw something the other day. that someone was cutting like pieces of wood, and this was fascinating to me. They were drilling boreholes into the wood.
Ooh,
and then
so cool.
The way the mushroom works is it sucks the life out of the piece of wood over years. So like you could have like a full dense piece of log, you drill the borehole in it, you put the mushroom spore in, and then it like eats the log over years. And then like the log at that point, you could pull and
Didn't we
make
see that on
compost.
Zac Efron's show?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we saw that there, but I saw it Down to Earth.
To Earth.
Yeah. But just watching it and then the way it broke down to become compost, I was fascinated by that. I love the idea of having everything grown at home, don't have the time to do it. But would love to be able to have, our own mushrooms, our own animals, our own meat.
No.
We have to keep the farm somewhere separate from Nicole because she'll want to name all the animals.
You're butchering animals out of, I'm sorry. Not gonna happen.
There you go. Look, growing all her own food for almost a year.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Right. I know Heather's here. She has a garden. She told me she was spending time putting plants in the other weekend or the other week. And she says it will give them fruits and vegetables or vegetables for the whole of the summer. And I love the idea of that. And we're in California, where most of the produce is grown for the United States, if not the world. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be having those sorts of things and then being able to eat beautiful stuff at home. I love watching that guy on Instagram, Creativity Explained. He's always like, if you take this, don't throw this away. If you take this, you know who I'm talking about? I think, no? Oh, he's amazing. Creativity Explained. I think it's called Creativity_Explained.
Okay.
If you haven't seen him. No, I'm not gonna look for it now. I need both hands because he's like, he's so big. He's like, if you take a mango seed, put a little hole in it with a knife, prise it open with a butter side. There's a mango seed. You put this inside, spritz it with some water, put a bottle on top for humidity, and leave it, and you'll get a sprout. Once it gets to 6 inches, put it into a new pot, and soon you'll have a mango tree. And he does this for mangoes, and he does it for lemons and oranges and every freaking thing. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. I've seen him do it all. He's amazing to watch. And even like he made something the other day. He was like, take onion and garlic and cayenne pepper and mix them with white vinegar. And then he was using it to spray his plants. And it was a completely organic insecticide because the bugs didn't want to go near onion, garlic, and cayenne pepper. Right. So and it was just amazing to watch. So
I'm curious, Stephanie, how do you feel? Do you feel better for having food that you've grown yourself? I'm really curious about that. If you have a second to answer that question.
There's probably a slight delay, so she's probably like 15 seconds behind us, just knowing the way that Facebook works on these sorts of things. So
yeah, I mean, that's incredible.
It's interesting she's saying you can grow a papaya plant seed to fruit in 18 months, whereas mangoes take 5 to 7 years.
That's so fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So
really cool.
All right, we should wrap here, but this is going to be our new time slot. It's a better time slot for our audience. As we can see, we have a lot more people tuning in at this time, and we're really happy to have you guys here.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Just checking I didn't miss anybody.
Selves.
But we'll be here next Thursday.
Next Thursday, I think.
Yeah.
We're in town and everything, yeah. Even if we weren't.
I think so. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll be here. If the worst comes to worst, we could always do it from a phone anyway, and people would appreciate the being out there and being involved. So yeah, we are glad to be here. We're glad that you're here, and have an amazing weekend. Happy Mother's Day, right? For all the mothers in the United States. England was 2 months ago. But appreciating all the mums.
All the babies, mamas.
Yeah.
Babies, mamas.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Nicole's an amazing mama, an amazing dog mama.
Are you a mom, Stephanie? I don't know the answer to that. I was gonna.
She is.
Just say Happy Mother's Day. Yeah. But if you're not a mom.
Well, Happy Mother's Day. Happy
Mother's Day.
Those mothering instincts. Yeah, kids are growing. I thought they were. Yeah, but have a Happy Mother's Day to all of our mums.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye, guys. Take care.